Hi everyone, this is Alan Rosinski of Metro Manhattan Office Space. Good afternoon. I'd like to discuss a relatively new technology which has the potential to revolutionize the marketing of commercial and residential real estate. That technology is 3D virtual tours. What a 3D virtual tour is, it is what it sounds like. You click on a listing and you actually get almost a sensation of being within a space. You click ahead of you and you're moving within this 3D model, sort of like a combination of a three-dimensional photograph and a floor plan. So you really get a sense of what a space is like. And I think what's really impressive about it is you can pull measurements. So you can actually look at a space and plan the space. Now, how many of you have been frustrated when you see wide-angle photos of an apartment and you go into the apartment and in reality, the apartment is much smaller than you think? How many of you have been frustrated when your commercial realtor takes you to a potential new office which is marketed as 3,000 square feet and the space is 1,500 square feet? Now, with these 3D virtual scans, the potential for that is eliminated because the files show you the measurements of a space. Now, I actually saw one of these 3D scans. I was looking at a residential real estate site about a year ago, clicked on it. At the time, I thought it was something of a gimmick. And I'm kind of old style. I prefer photographs, high quality photographs, say from a full frame camera. But I started reading about this and looking at these files again recently, and I could see how they would be revolutionary. And this way of showing space, these virtual tours have become extremely popular since the start of the pandemic. Now, it's both an opportunity and there's a downside too from the point of view of landlords and tenants. And I'm going to speak more in terms of commercial real estate in New York City because that's my niche. If a landlord were to take their listings and create 3D virtual tours for every single one of them and put them up on their websites or online, I think they would gain a reputation for transparency, and that could really work to their benefit because this is a point of anxiety for tenants, and knowing what the measurements are beforehand kind of creates a certain comfort level in advance. So that's the potential benefit. The downside from a landlord's point of view is it may reduce the number of tenants, potential tenants who would visit a space because tenants don't understand loss factors and they don't feel they're justified when in many cases they're very, very reasonable. So if the tenant sees the space advertised is 3,000 feet and the 3D scan indicates 1,750, they may say, no, you know what, it's not for me. But what they're not taking into account, the tenant, is that space is in a Class A building with 15 elevators, 12 passenger elevators, 3 freight elevators. It's a large, luxurious lobby, luxurious quarters, very, very well maintained. And in fact, the explanation for the higher than average loss factor is that the common areas in the building are larger. And of course, the tenant is benefiting from those common areas. Now, from a tenant's perspective, the advantage is that they can sit at home, look at a space, start to plan the space, see how many desks will fit, how many cubicles will fit, and really get a much better idea, a much better sense of the physical attributes of that space. Now, there's a very big downside from a tenant's point of view to evaluating a space based solely on a 3D model, because that 3D model doesn't tell you what condition the corridors are in, what condition the lobby's in. Is there an odor in the lobby in the morning? When you get into the building at 9 a.m. during normal times, is there a wait, a 10-minute wait to get access to an elevator? Doesn't tell you what condition the mechanical systems in the building are in. Doesn't tell you anything about the landlord. Is the landlord easy to work with? Do they provide a high level of service? What's in the lease? So these are really essential elements to the relationship that you will have, that a potential tenant will have with a landlord. And while knowing more about the physical space is really helpful, there's a lot of other factors that come into play. But I'd like to hear if any of my viewers have had experience looking at virtual tours, whether any of you have looked at real estate and clicked on any of these 3D models, and what your opinion is. Do you think this is a better way to look at a real estate? Or are you more comfortable with, say, traditional photographs or even video? So I look forward to your opinion on this, and until the next time. If you found this content interesting or helpful, I'd be happy if you subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can always find me on Twitter. My Twitter handle is @Metro Manhattan. Until the next time.